everything that we said we wanted out of prayer just took over the White House. And that was a crazy break in the White House.
We're called Eclectic Endeavors, which is a part of the Springfield Regional Art Council. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Everything we make over and above our operating expenses actually goes towards a scholarship towards the nerd and geeky arts. So we gave a scholarship away this year, and we'll be giving another one away next year, hopefully, depending on how much we make.
Excellent.
And it's all towards anything gaming related, so game design, media arts, writing, anything of a nerd type culture. You know, if you want to be a graphic artist.
Podcaster.
What?
Podcaster.
If you want to be a podcaster, you know, we do panels on how to do a successful Kickstarter campaign, how to draw a comic book, how to design costumes. We do all of that, and we're just basically trying to teach people that all these geeky, nerdy things are also educational and art.
Yes.
We're involved in education and art, and we want to spread the art and education of the nerd subculture. And that's what we're about.
Excellent. And you're located where?
Well, we're in Springfield, and the actual convention is at the Expo Center in October. We also do a picnic once a year at Phelps Grove Park. It's free to go. We provide the hot dogs and hamburgers, and then it's potluck for everything else. We have lawn games. We have people under the pavilion playing Dungeons and Dragons and Magic. We do a DM battle once a year, where it's kind of like Iron Chef for Dungeon Masters. We give them 3 elements. They have to make a dungeon, and they run them with some people. Then we kind of vote to see who's the Iron DM. And we also do a game day at the headquarters of the Regional Arts Center called the Creamy Arts Center once a year, where it's like 7 hours of board games, card games, just come in and play for free.
And how would somebody contact you?
You'd go to springfieldgame.com is our website. You get one of our flyers here at the convention, and you can find our flyers also at Metagames in Springfield. Cave Turkey has some of our flyers. Places like that, 1984, you can get a flyer, of course.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Like I said, go to springfieldgame.com or check us out on Facebook at Eclectic Endeavors is the name of the group.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for what you do.
Oh, no problem. Like I said, anything gaming, anything arts, media, nerd culture, we're all about it.
I'm Jackie Barrows.
Weston Warren.
Alan Childers.
Richard Abel.
Thank you to everyone for showing up tonight. This is our hour-long panel called The Edge of Beyond Experience. And in case you may have seen our booth downstairs in Exhibit Hall B, this is all for a sci-fi fantasy multimedia franchise that we're trying to build from the ground up. We're locals from Columbia, Jefferson City, Missouri. And as of now, we've got a book series out consisting of 2 books. And with the 3rd coming out in October, we're here to just present everyone's role and what everyone does on the team. So first we're going to start with concept art. When you're trying to develop a franchise of any scope or any project, you've got to start from the ground up. And sometimes that can be a simple sketch or just an idea. So here's an example of a first sketch that we had of the main character, Victor Zayas. Has anyone seen the movie A Scanner Darkly?
Yes.
Any other people have heard of it? Okay. One of the 50 artists that worked on that movie actually did this original concept back in early 2011. And trying to work with different artists, sometimes you click with people, sometimes you don't. And I met this gentleman back in 2012, and he came on board to be the official concept artist so that we could bring everything that was up here out into a tangible form. And from there, we just worked one-on-one trying to figure out, what was the visual style for this, while also creating something that was original. Because obviously if you're going to promote something that claims to be new, it's got to look new, it's got to feel new, and it's got to read new. So even though these may come off as rough sketches, just starting with something is going to get you somewhere as long as you keep working on it. This just gives you an example of what this gentleman did, just starting off from scratch and just trying to pull the ideas out from my mind so that I could have something to show other people to bring other team members on board. And real quick, we're going to show you a teaser video, a little interview that we did with him a few years ago, just to give you a bit of insight on what it was like for him joining me and whatnot.
What first drew you to TIA as an artist and fan? What drew me to TIA initially was the scope of it. It was something I knew I wanted to get my name out there as an artist, and I wanted to really hone my skills and challenge myself. And your story and the things that you were wanting really were going to challenge me to my conceptualization skills and my drawing skills fairly well, and the visualization of the world building phase that it was in gave me an opportunity to really stretch myself into some different areas and into all aspects of visualization of an entire world. So I really thought that it was an opportunity to get in there and learn something, teach myself things, as well as develop something that was truly epic. You know, I just got super excited about it because it was like, this is awesome. So it was really, I just got really stoked about it because I knew that, you know, it was going to go somewhere.
Just basically a warm-up to introduce you to Alan Childers, the first official concept artist of this project.
Hi, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, cool. I thought I wasn't going to have to speak since I had a video, so, but that was me, and we did that interview. But I met Roz in 2012 when I was attending Middle Tennessee State University for art, and basically, I walked into Walgreens, and his manager at the time, my daughter said, you know, oh, look, she's trying to draw something like you can. And then she immediately caught on to the fact that I was an artist, and we set up to meet with Roz, and he went through all my sketchbooks. We found that we have a love of pop icon culture, and specifically Ninja Turtles. So we were able to reference those things quite a bit and talk about some of the things he was looking for when we were trying to develop the art in the world of The Edge of Beyond, what we were trying to go for thematically, what he was trying to go for with the characters. When trying to develop he really wanted the expression of the characters to shine through with their emotions, as well as with you know, the context of the world, with the technology the way it was. So all of those had to play together, and with the concept art, it was a little bit rough and a little bit sketchy, and those were some of the initial concept art that we did. But all of that art was inspiration for him to continue further on into the world of TIA and develop it out further. So it was awesome being a part of the project. I love being a part of the project, and I still get to delve into it and just generate awesome creatures and characters and all kinds of awesomeness for The Edge of Beyond. Any questions?
Thank you, Alan. From concept, obviously, if you're going to present something to an audience, you got to have something that looks a lot more tangible, something polished. So from there, you go to, even if it takes a different type of artist or even just different type of work, you can go from simple concepts. In case anyone has seen our booth, they probably noticed our 2 full-size character stand-ups. They're wearing crystal-powered gauntlets, which the original idea for a gauntlet for me came back in about '90, which was a year or two, maybe a few years after the original Nintendo Power Glove came out, which some of you may remember. And from there, after watching Terminator 2, I was inspired by the whole liquid metal nanotech technology, which is a real technology being developed, by the way, for those that don't know, which helped be the basis for what we call the undersuit, which is the hexagonal pattern that they wear underneath the crystalline armor. And here is an example of our finalized, polished versions of our 2 main characters, Victor and Elena, which are the full-size standees that we have at our booth at this current time and will all weekend. So this will give you an example of what you can do starting out from just a sketch drawing to a finished, polished concept with having more people help you develop what's coming out from up here. There's another example of just the kind of production that we're trying to showcase to people for something original, showing these original characters in their own element. And here's an example of even if you've got someone who's doing basically a higher level of art, and we'll take something like this, which is something that was penciled, then inked, and then colored with something like prism markers, and then we take it into the computer, and we can turn it into something different and actually give it more of a pattern, something that has just a finished quality to it that people prefer when they're buying a product. Here's another example. This is actually the villain on this cover. This was the original sketch that was inked and colored, obviously, and then when we get done with our magic, this is what it ends up looking like. Just to give you an idea of how we try to strive for making our characters look iconic, because obviously some people may think what we're doing is generic, but we try to create something that just has that nice magic to it. Because obviously, if any of you familiar with concept art when it comes to animated films, where they show you the before and after of what a, like, let's say Little Mermaid or Aladdin, the early ones always look really rough and they're just not quite there yet. And then you see that final one in the movie and you realize, okay, no wonder they stopped with that one. That one's got the magic. That's what we try to accomplish with this project. Whether or not we're succeeding, we feel that we are, but that's what we strive for. All right, from here we go with visual production. And if it wasn't for all the hours spent on the computer, which I'm not the kind of person that likes working on a computer. I like to go outside and do things, but this is what it takes. So visual production, everything you see here and at our booth is helped with a computer whiz that I've got right here named Jackie Barrows. So I'm going to let her explain what her role is like and the kind of work that she's done for this project just in the past 2 years alone.
Hi, I'm Jackie, and basically I got started working with Roz after meeting him on a production shoot for another person's work, and we kind of hit it off right away. Originally I came on board to be a video editor, kind of videographer sort of capacity. But then I showed him what I could do in Photoshop, and basically we proceeded to work on the first book cover, which, as you can see, turned out really nice. It's took many hours of hard work to get to this point, because we had to kind of work with what he wanted visually for the book cover. We had to correct anatomy on the characters, such as Travanis, and that's the guy in the red wings, of course, and basically just kind of give it that overall polished look. And that's essentially my role whenever I work in Photoshop. I'm basically the person that takes everything that the artists do, and as a third-tier artist, I consider myself a third-tier artist. I take everything that is made and I bring it the level of polish that is needed so that you guys see the work that we do here. So that you guys see that we are a professional company. And so that's another example of a new poster design that you saw out front. And that is basically showcasing the photo manipulation and realistic work. Well, as I was was saying, this takes many hours of hard work, and Roz and I typically work side by side for, well, sometimes we're pulling 60 hours a week getting stuff done here. And, you know, stuff like this, it takes a lot of back and forth. You know, he points out what he wants changed on something, and I have to change it immediately and, you know, fix that. And there are times when I get a lot right, of course, and, you know, that sort of deal. And that's the latest banner that we have. That was made what was it, a week ago? Something like that? A week ago, perhaps. And yeah, so, and that's the cover, the official cover for the art book, the source book, that is coming out along with the third book this coming October. And that is a lineup of the profile shots that you will see in the art book. Here we have Petraeus on the far left, Kale right next door, Victor, Elena, and Talia. And all those characters are very key, and we have we have quite a few more characters to go. And now we're moving on into producing a crystallized standard of quality through raw talent. That is our motto. That is our motto for what we do, and that is basically that's everyone's job, and that's kind of how I produce my work, my end of the work as well. Basically, I give it that polish, that crystallized polish that we need for what we do. This is Lost and Found. This is actually Weston's children's storybook idea. And we're working on production for that as well. And I'm the illustrator for this, basically. And this is the poster/book cover. As you can see, we are going for a feel that is kind of dark, but still hopeful. That is what we wanted to capture. We didn't want something that was happy-go-lucky necessarily, too bright on the colors. We wanted something that could feel like, you know, the 90s, 80s animations. You remember An American Tail?
Yep.
Or Aristocats. You know, that sort of thing where it has a deep storyline that people can get attached to. That's what we're going for with this. So it's a children's book, but we try to work on a broad scope to where it could be an animated film one day. That's what we do with all our work. And this is actually one of my ideas from college that we're actually putting together. And it's a steampunk adventure epic that is sure to blow your mind once it's ready. And this is Scarlett Beaumont, the lead character. She is captain of the Mighty Mesa, and she is a mighty, mighty character. And this is Abernation, a project that is in the works right now. That's going to be a sci-fi thriller. And it's going to deal with a lot of dark politics. It's a much more serious storyline. This is also one of Weston's ideas. And this is Night Serent, an idea that Roz came up with that is going to be like a precursor to Tiab. And that's basically all the production end of it. And I just want to add real quickly, obviously I'm the only female on the team. And I consider it quite an honor to be a part of this team. I am very young. I recently turned 25, and so I've been given a golden opportunity to work in multimedia. And most of my other classmates, if they're working in production, they're working kind of on the bottom rung. They're kind of trying to work their way up. So, you know, basically with working with this team here, we're getting a lot done. We're doing a lot of work. We're growing by leaps and bounds. I'm very impressed with the work that we've done so far, and we are going to continue shining forward. I can already tell. So, I guess.
Thank you, Jackie. Let's get Jackie again, please. When I was developing this project back in 1997 was when I first came up with the premise of the story as well as the name, The Edge of Beyond. I wanted something that had a tangible science to it, not just a story full of fluff. So luckily, within the past 4 years, I met a local scientist who was interested in a lot of science fiction, but he felt the same way as I did, that a lot of today's stuff or production from Hollywood, is just full of things that aren't meant to make much sense. It's just meant to entertain. And part of what we do at Raw Productions is we want to create projects that not only entertain you but also educate. So I'm going to introduce Weston Warren, our official science advisor, and he can give you some insight on the whole purpose of his role behind bringing some scientific plausibility into a sci-fi fantasy series of this nature.
Thank you. How are we doing on time? Last time I went too long. And do you have enough time?
I got plenty of time.
I'm going to make sure.
I got plenty of time.
As Raz mentioned, the concept of this storyline impressed me. I always figured that as a moviegoer, we all have a level of intelligence, and if you're watching a science fiction movie and the special effects or the concept isn't plausible, it insults my intelligence, and I can't get into the movie. But if it's believable, Star Trek, for example, the phaser, the communicator, the replicator, we have 3D printing now, and cell phones, tricorders are coming out now. That's a reality. So Star Trek was very believable. Well, this concept of Tia, everything in the book, you read book 1 throughout the series of books, are events that happen to the Earth or happen to humans that are scientifically based. This actually can happen. There's science to prove that it could happen, and it's not a stretch of imagination. So that's the main purpose of my involvement. Is the storyline that Raz had was very impressive. I was impressed because he doesn't have a degreed science background, the degrees that I had, and I'm like, how did you?
I did graduate high school, but
Yeah, he's smart, but I mean, it's you have degrees. I don't know. Maybe they're not worth the paper they're written on, but I spent all these hours in school and in the field of science, and he had ideas as if he had a PhD along with me, and I'm like, how did you come up with these ideas? These are very good ideas, and I was hooked immediately. So it was worth my time and energy to be part of TIA, and it's marvelous. The book is very well written. The science is founded, the storyline, the plots are very good. I like the fact that it's the demographics of the book. It's, believe it or not, from 10 to 60-year-olds. I've never seen anything like this, and it's male and female. Because usually in, you take a science fiction, you have geared, say, male, 15 to 35. Is this accurate to say like Twilight would be female oriented, certain age? This storyline is all over, because you have 2 of the 3 main characters, for example, are female. That's highly unusual in science fiction. Raz was way ahead of his time, 19, 20 years ago. There's a trend now, but not when he started 20 years ago, of having prominent female role models. The book is full of good morals and ethics and issues in society. But that's about what I'll cut it short to leave time for questions, but hand it over to you. Pardon me? The crystal technology. Okay. The crystal technology, if you have, is there a picture of like just their suits, the soul gear? Close. Yeah, that's a good one. You can see. What's interesting, the characters have what's called a soul gear. It's a suit. There we go. I like that one. So if I come over here, real quick, you have the hexagon pattern here, and then the crystals that are lit. That's very, very feasible. The crystals, the soul gear is hooked to the spinal cord, so it's activated by conscious thought. The suit is flexible when need be, and when there needs to be a defense, the crystals are able to harden and absorb energy weapons or blows, but then return back to being flexible when you need to be flexible and move around. The crystals also reflect the consciousness or mood, the personality of the suit wearer. That's why in his books, if you look at the different colors of the crystals that are on here, that's a reflection of their vibration, their good guys, bad guys, in an angry mood, happy, helpful mood. It's all related to the connection of the spinal cord. The crystal technology is related to an event that happened to the Earth, why the crystals are so important. As science progresses right now, modern day science, we're learning more about crystals. An announcement will be made to the world shortly about flexible crystals that have been discovered. It's quite phenomenal what will be done and the change of technology that we will experience that mankind has never seen based on crystal technology. That Raz must have been a psychic and had that forethought 20 years ago.
We call it creative forethought.
Creative forethought, yeah. Anything else you want me to bring up? That's it, because I'll wait if there's questions later.
Let's give Weston Warren a hand, please. Next, we're going to show you a quick slideshow video that showcases the main theme, which you will hear constantly at our booth, which kind of drives the other vendors nuts, but we play it because people enjoy hearing it, and if they haven't heard it for the first time, it actually draws them to the booth, interact with us, which is what we want, because even if they don't want to purchase a book, we love meeting with people, and we love just kind of explaining to them what we're all about with this project. So this is just going to be a 3-minute video that showcases the main theme, and there'll be some imagery that kind of shows what we've accomplished at other events and whatnot as we grow with this project. And yes, in case you're wondering, I did write and compose that. Okay, next I'm going to introduce you to Richard Apel, who has basically come on board to help us get documentation together for a video game that we want to eventually pitch to bigger companies. And obviously, me being a writer, author, whatever you want to call it, and working with artists that work in the 2D realm, it's nice to bring someone on board who has a bit more knowledge than I do when it comes to working in the 3D realm. So one of our plans is to hopefully by the end of the year have a 15, maybe 20-minute video game demo that we can have available to play at our booth. And I'll basically just let Richard explain that kind of process.
How's everybody doing? Okay, so this is my first convention, so it's been fun. So what we're gonna do, we'll talk a little bit about marketing and what we wanna do and how to accomplish that. So with TOP, what we're really looking at is what we can do to reach a higher audience and actually do it with quality. How many people play video games? Okay, obviously you do with being a convention. So what do you, I'm gonna be more, that is the next best storytelling medium is video games with an original concept, okay? Like I said, what's original that's coming out? There's a few here and there, so those are nice, not very many, but do you want the same thing rehashed over and over and over? The $60 a pop.
Apparently we do.
Apparently you do. That's very true. You guys really want, I'm guilty of it too. I play the same stuff. I've got every Final Fantasy, I played every Call of Duty, I played every Halo. Don't tell that guy downstairs I said that, okay? Because I like him, he's supposed to sign something for me. But we still play those things, we want to do that. It's just how we immerse ourselves in different worlds. We're trying to reach you in a different way of emotion and epic tale, okay? This is gonna be a great story for you guys to be immersed with. I highly recommend reading the book because you're gonna get a lot of stuff out of the book as well. But like I said, it's gonna tug at your heartstrings, it's gonna make you think, and it's an epic tale, okay?
It'd be nice if some of the book wound up into the video game itself, like you actually have chapters that you can read in there to have that sort of idea.
Don't tell nobody that. No, and reading the book is gonna get you some things, but the video game itself is actually gonna give you more stuff that you can't see in the book. The book reads just like a video game. We've talked about that multiple times.
Yeah, plays like a movie, reads like a, yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, you can, as you're reading the book, you can see the fight scenes, you can see the journey. It's a hero's journey, is what we've talked about. So, like I said, be looking for those things. Keep an eye on what we're trying to do for you guys. I mean, in Missouri, is there a video game company in Missouri? Is a video game that came out of Missouri?
Don't know.
Nope. Where's they all located at? Hollywood,
Silicon Valley.
Texas, overseas. What's that? Yeah.
Japan.
Yeah. Why is that though? Because no one does it. You get pigeonholed in the fact that you should be going somewhere else. You can't make it here in Missouri. You have to move to Hollywood or things like that. Nope, we don't believe that. We're here locally. We're going to do it locally. And you guys are going to see those new things coming up. We're going to try to make it that Raw Productions that's going to produce this game is going to make it a big staple for Missouri. That the Edge of Beyond came out of Missouri. Raw Productions came out of Missouri. So, and like I said, be a lookout for that. It's going to be great. If you guys have any questions, I believe that is actually the last part of what we're going to do. Go back one. Okay. So the way the video game is actually going to work, it's going to be a 3-part series. I kind of glanced over that too. The first one, Rise of the Fallen. First book that we released. Next one is going to be The Wings of Destruction, second book itself. And then the third one, which is going to be Twilight of the Gods. Okay? So each story, each game that we're going to do is going to build off each other. So the great concept with that is we're going to make sure that you guys, the things that you do in the first one affects what you do in the second one, and so on and so forth. So that's a concept that we're currently working on, trying to get that to do. I don't know if there's any game that does that now. So we really want to hit that as you grow with the characters, you grow with Victor, or you grow with Elena.
So as you can see, we only have so much time to speak within an hour-long panel, but basically, when I started this back in '97, I wanted something that could compete with the likes of Star Wars. Little did I know that years later, Lucas would sell that property to Disney, and they would be keeping it alive, which, good for us Star Wars fans. We're happy for that, but, where's the next trend of originality? Where's a rehash of the 70s, 80s, and 90s where we had original films like Star Wars coming out? We're not getting it. All we're getting is sequels, reboots, or remakes. Now, granted, a lot of those are really good. I'll admit that. But where's the real originality coming at? They're just, milking the same thing over and over again. So we're here doing every convention that we can get to present an original property that, with the right fan support, can, you know, blow up to, you know, maybe something as big as Star Wars. It just depends on how much love we get from that. But anyone who reads the books, gets an art print, anything, you can see the level of passion that we put behind this, because this is a 7-day-a-week job for us. We don't get a break. The only break we get is when we're at events like this, which takes away from our workflow. So when we get back Sunday, it's like, oh great, it's going to be turning into a 9-day work week just because we have to make up for what we lost. But eventually we will be doing crowdfunding, which right now it's a little rough starting because we're so busy with all the stuff that we've got in tow. But the more people we meet with our interactive booth, the better, because we want to help spread the word and also to show people what you can accomplish on an independent level, even from a place like what some consider Podunk, Missouri. I mean, I grew up in one of the smallest hick towns in the state, Tuscumbia, Missouri. But here I am 19 plus years later trying to build, you know, a project that can compete with everything you see in the theater now. And if we truly succeed, who knows, maybe you'll hear of, you know, Go Beyond in IMAX, which would be pertaining to The Edge of Beyond as a film. I'm going to close part of this panel with our official book video teaser, which is showcased on our YouTube page. And this is just something that we also had in a few theaters, including one of the IMAXs in St. Louis. And this is just to kind of help coin the term Go Beyond in IMAX and whatnot, while also raising awareness that even though we're selling it as a book series right now, that's just the starting out point. The end game is just a multimedia franchise, and every event that we do, you can expect to meet every team member that has helped me along the way get here, because it...
Hello, Internet. My name is Neil Cordray. Did I need to start that over?
Nope.
Okay. Hello, Internet. My name is Neil Cordray.
And we can hear you.
I am the creator, producer, editor, and all-around content monkey for Geek Fanthology, a weekly geek podcast found at www.workingtheoryproductions.com. I think that's as much busking as I can do before you ask me a question.
And that's when we're like, yeah, so it's like, in terms of that, it's like you guys also share that. It's like, do you also talk about the books on the podcast as well? It's also...
It's something that we haven't really done yet, other than mention on a number of occasions that Ben is a published author and that I am writing a book right now, and that I hope to have it out by the end of the year. Hopefully before the end of the year. Like, I'm shooting for May. We'll see when May comes around what I'm shooting for at that point. Because I am not yet making enough money with not having published any books to be able to write for a living. But we do a podcast, and we talk about any and all things geeky. In fact, about 4 minutes ago, our film review of John Wick 2 just went live on the website.
Very cool.
It'll be up on the podcast aggregator, Stitcher, and iTunes in about an hour, because there's always a little bit of a lag.
We will have to check that out.
Appreciate it. We talk about any and all things, just really kind of whatever catches our interest. Last week we talked about the first Final Fantasy game.
Yep.
Last night we recorded an episode about Fallout 2, which will go live the next time I don't know what episode I want to put up. We keep a few in backlog.
Absolutely. Well, you always have to keep a few behind. Yeah, iHeart fortunately keeps us like a couple of episodes behind, so then that way they have that in their back pocket. We're like not able to do that because we're at a con.
Well, we'll do a con post-mortem, trying to get that recorded on Monday. We'll see if that actually happens, but we might have to hold off recording until like sometime later down Friday or something. I don't know. I'll have to talk to Ben about that. His people will have to talk to my people, and by people I mean phones.
Yes. Yeah, we'll have to text each other. My people will call your people, and it's like
versus my people.
Yes. We are kind of a newer podcast. We've only been around for about 8 months, so I know we have a listenership. I don't know how big it is.
Is there anybody out there? Yes, there is. There's like tons of people out there.
I always keep mentioning, all of the celebrities that we know are obviously listening to our podcast, like Will Wheaton, all those things.
Keanu Reeves.
I need to talk.
Oh, yeah.
Do I need to talk towards her?
No.
Sorry.
No, we're going in both directions.
I'm reading the cameraman.
No.
Hello, cameraman. Pay no attention to the man behind the camera, right?
No, he just wants my punim in front of the camera too.
Yeah. Well, I've just been talking. You have any questions for me?
Well, it's like also in terms of that, all things geek. So it comes in terms of gaming. It comes in terms of also new shows, new things. It's like, have you hooked into Orphan Black?
I've heard of Orphan Black. I haven't really looked at it yet.
Yeah, we podcasted on Orphan Black, so just to let you get a heads up, you really want to hook onto that show if you're like into really sci-fi geek and stuff like that.
Well,
it's like
it'll go on the list.
And very promising. So it's like it's going into season 5, and I'm like so sad that it's ending.
I kind of like being able to find shows that have already completed.
Yeah.
So I don't have to be like, and we hope they don't screw this up.
You mean like Walking Dead? Season 7.
Or later episodes or later seasons of Buffy.
Yeah. Okay.
No offense, Joss.
No, we love them all.
Buffy.
I podcast for Walking Dead too, so it's like, hey, all of those Walking Dead fans.
But we tend to stick to stuff that we've actually already experienced and can talk about. So we talk a bit about D&D, talk about movies and stuff. We'll go and watch movies so that we can then talk about it.
Yep.
Just needs to be a movie that we all want to watch. I think we're going to do one on Ghost in the Shell coming up. We're going to do. I'm trying to get us to do a.
Very cool.
I'm trying to get us to do a comparison between the anime movie and the live action movie.
Yes.
Because I own the anime movie and the live action movie is coming out on Tuesday.
Yes.
So I think that would be a fun.
It will. But yes, it's like, and also, so once again, plug us in for social media. How do we get in touch with you?
We are at. I gotta remember because the Facebook is like the one thing that isn't Working Theory Productions. If you search Working Theory Productions in Google, I believe we're either the first or second link. We are also on Facebook. I haven't set up a Twitter yet. I will be probably soon because I really ought to. We are at facebook.com/geekfanthology, the name of the podcast. We are also We're also on Patreon, patreon.com/workingtheory. You can find our podcast on any good, reputable RSS feed reader, and directly downloadable on iTunes and Stitcher.
Very cool. And thank you guys both for this amazing interview. Thank you.
It was a pleasure having you.
It's movie time and we're back again. Day 2 of VisionCon. So hopefully you guys are having a really good time with us. And lovely representatives. If you would introduce yourself, introduce your field, because we're looking forward to this one.
Right. I would be Lady Aspin Fitzpatrick or Nikki Pesto.
My name is Dave Pesto. I go by Tiffany Sturman.
The White Curtain is on Spare. We are three weekends in June. We have our main visiting us Smith. She's the senior. We have all women's troupe of jousters called the Deadly Dames.
And we joust.
We joust. The girls joust.
Yep.
They have horses. Every day between one night, our young boosters, our men and women, our partners. Entertainment, there are singers. 2 weekends of the first and the third weekend, we have Harpist in Texas.
Harpist.
Miss them.
We have a wonderful tavern.
And there'll be a pumpkin, I'm sure.
There is pumpkin.
Comes off.
And of course there will be a mead company coming to meet us all.
Yes, there would be Seven Seas Meadery. Donates or buy a lot of the meat that we have there locally. There's a lot of the alcohol that we do serve. Also locally.
Nice.
If you're 21.
All right.
Must be 41 even in medieval times.
So how about you explain what all this is?
This is some wares that various people at the Ren Fair have for sale. Gift wrap bottles, jewelry.
We have
God's Armory will be there doing chainmail, all shapes, sizes.
this is part of their wares. Actually, my necklace is God's Armory.
I absolutely love it. Yeah. No, that's good. Very well in terms of that. It's like you have a lot of fine carvings and learning. It's like some wood.
There's a lot of various ones. Some there's one weekend, some are they're all free.
That's why
Any Halloween illustrations or
we do have a potter. We have a potter on staff. It's actually our husband and wife. We have a bakery that is Stone Bakery, wood stone. Has delicious breads. We have gypsies that try to invade. We have a herd of Russians that like to invade our
Uh-oh, vodka time.
Yeah.
There are roads.
Yes, it's an amazing event. For those who love Renaissance Fair, it's a great one. And you also have novel events.
We do Feast of the Goblin King in October. Everything that Queen Elizabeth is with the prim and proper, he is not. So it's a little bit of a romp on the wild side, but it's a fun holiday.
I noticed the items on the table are raffle items. Why are they not items for sale?
From right here. You have to be downstairs to do that.
And why is that?
That is their rules, not
Yeah.
ours.
Okay.
Have you seen my eldest?
Right.
I messaged him.
When you have your events, is it a whole weekend event? Do you just camp over? Do you stay a week? Do you when you have an event?
There are not campsites available for the public. We do have many of our fair people that will camp on site.
Mansfield and Seymour are just like 4 to 5 miles away. There's the town. There's also cabins in the area. They rent fairly inexpensively. But make it a 2-day event.
Yeah. Excellent.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
We have art simply so we do not die of reality. And that is a great thought, you know, that leads us into our discussion of science fiction. If you look at the art, you've got drama, comedy, poetry, music, art, dance, literature. How many of those are going on at this conference, you know, over this 3-day period? There's quite a few. And in terms of literature, if you think about it, you know, we're talking space, we're talking science fiction out there. If you really think about the reality, only a very small number of human beings, you know, I don't even know what the world population is, 330 million here in the United States, but only a very small number of humans, probably easily under 25, have ever stepped onto a small satellite of a very small planet in a very small solar system in a very small galaxy. Think about this. It's kind of like the 1950s kind of thing, Horatio Alger. You know, we've got a complication, we solve it, we win, the good guys are in charge, and we move on. Recently, as we move kind of from a modernist society to a postmodern society, you begin to see an increase in dystopian science fiction. The world is going to hell quickly, and you know, we help it along. Everything we do makes it worse, and you know, you see this kind of thing. Space opera is very much, if you will, cowboys and Indians set in space. Good guys, bad guys out there somewhere, you know, having a war. And then there's social commentary. Like several years ago, I taught a class at Drury University in Springfield called Science Fiction as Social Commentary. And what it does, science fiction allows you to get away from some of the baggage, you know, that we all carry with us when we consider a new concept. And so if you're reading a book that talks about a purple android with blue hair or something, we all come up with an image of that. But if you're talking about a blue-eyed blonde with a square jaw, it may be a reminder of your ex-wife, and all of a sudden all that baggage comes in to what you're reading, you know, in science fiction. Science fiction gives us almost a blank slate out there with which to consider our own society. And then with the dystopian literature, have we lost their spirit? You know, it's just like, I know we didn't say this, but it felt like it back when I was in the 8th and 9th grade. My God, we're going to go to the moon. You know, how cool is that? And, you know, that's what you get from some of the science fiction and so forth. So with that, that just lays a quick foundation of the type of science fiction. What it does, it gives us a perspective by which we can look at our own society, our own culture, our own world, and then these four experts to my left are really going to tell you the important stuff. So, you're on.
Star Wars.
So, what I'd like to do here, I'd like to maybe have each of us
Oh,
talk.
wait a minute. Got one more thing. Last year we did a variation of this, my first time, and I sat out there on the little round table and watched this guy chug a Red Bull 20 minutes before we came in. And I just had some little notes, and I was prepared to sit here quietly and just talk and, have a discussion. Mr. Red Bull here, when I finished, he's running back and forth, he's got PowerPoint, everybody's got PowerPoint. So this year, I'm going, okay, I gotta have PowerPoint. Nobody else has it. Have at it, Jim.
All right. You found your voice. What we'd like to do, Mike, is a Star Wars expert. I pay for Star Trek, horror, Doctor Who. We're going to talk about how maybe this franchise has affected us.
That would be forward.
I should speak clearer. Anyway, we'll tell a story. Everybody's got a joke today. And then we'll open it up to you, because I'm sure that you all have some experience or some story of how science fiction has changed your life. And so that's, again, as the mayor said, it's really what it is and it's what it does. It allows us to examine the human condition from an outside perspective. So, Mr. Brazell, as our Star Wars pundit.
I'm just looking like entertainment, damn it.
Yeah.
I'm here, we paid $40 a ticket to get in or something. I don't know what you guys paid. Yeah? I'm sorry. Anyway, my name is Michael Brazell. I teach at Missouri State University, but I don't get to teach anything fun like this. My wife looks at Star Wars and she knows all the quotes from Empire Strikes Back, but the rest of it, yeah, that's cute. She did like Rogue One. That was right? Not one of my favorites. But Kim went on to tell a little bit of story about how it changed or touched us in some way. And I told this a little bit last year, but I'm from New Jersey originally. That's why I talk kind of fast. So if I start talking too fast, I go, yo, dude, slow it down. And I'd be happy to tell. But yeah. But when I moved from New Jersey to Kansas, southeast Kansas, there were like freaking cows next to my school. It scared me. I've never seen a cow outside of like the zoo in Philadelphia. Yes.
When it counts the zoo?
Yeah, you can pet and stuff. And I used to have nightmares of them chasing me in class. All the time. And I remember we were out in the middle of nowhere. My dad had actually transferred here, and we were in Edna, Kansas. Anyone know where that is? Dear God, really? There was like one tiny gas station in there, and that's about it. And there was nothing to do. And as a fourth grader, this was 1977, I was terrified. I didn't know what to do with myself. And my dad knew that he was losing me fast. And I was becoming more withdrawn. And one day he comes home, he brings this comic book. And it was about this big, giant treasury edition of Marvel Comics Star Wars. And I got hold of that. I said, what is this? He goes, I don't really know, but we're going to see it tonight. It's like, now, science fiction prior to that for me had been reading Edgar Rice Burroughs. I mean, you read like Carson of Venus, War of Mars. Yeah, so those, even Tarzan has those science fiction elements in it. So that's the kind of perception I had. Or perhaps Lost in Space. Everyone was watching that. Space 1999, which was whole. Have you looked at it again today? If the moon left like that, it's not going to be able to travel around and have people land on it. What the hell? But yet, somehow, as a kid, it was amazing, especially when they started bringing shape-shifting aliens into it. I was hooked, right? But science fiction had a cleanness to it. There was something pure and clean to it. Even the spaceships looked like they were brand new all the time. And then we get Star Wars. It brought me out of the shell in a weird way. I saw the movie and started crying as soon as the ship shows up. when it first started short. And from the beginning to the end, I don't think I moved, breathed, or anything. And at the end of it, I just sat there. My dad said, "Okay, let's go." And we stayed and watched it again. So we'd get up. From then on out, I was hooked. Since then, in my life, and I shouldn't tell you this because then you'll find out where I live, but I have owned every comic book that Star Wars that they've ever published for Star Wars, including stuff from overseas. Until recently, when Marvel did 90 or 100 different versions of #1, I had every alternate cover too. Every card that's ever been produced, I have. I have a room at home that is literally dedicated just to Star Wars. And when I got married, my wife said, "What in God's name?" And we're looking at houses, and we always tell the realtor, "Yeah, we need a Star Wars room." Sorry, we need a Star Wars. And so I got display cases, the comics, the book. But it inspired me in different ways. Not only did it bring me out of my shell, but I then became a writer myself because I was so interested in that work. And so I guess my story comes from the fact that I felt so connected to the world because those characters seemed so different than everything we'd seen before. The passing of Carrie Fisher recently, I've never met her. I've never been connected to any stars before, but somehow her death really affected me. I don't know how many of you were my age when Star Wars came out, but in 4th grade, she was my first crush, right? My first unrequited love. And because there had never been any character like her in science fiction. She was feisty, she could hold her own with the guys. She was so tiny, you might take him on all by herself, but she wasn't so small, right? And yet there was something that not only did you want to protect her because it's the guy thing, right? But at the same time, you knew she didn't need it. That was exciting, so that's my wife now. It's just like that. Anyway, so to wrap up my story, I guess, here's this little kid terrified of the world, and then I see something that just changed my life. I start doing the research, start doing the writing, and to this day, I've got, almost 100 publications under my belt. I teach writing, I have 5 degrees in writing. I'm always constantly working simply because one day my dad said, "This kid gets to get off his butt and go see a movie," and it changed everything for me. So hopefully I'll hear some stories like that from you guys.
So, I love Star Trek. Let me give you a little bit of background. I grew up in a very rural environment. I grew up in an environment where Christmas time, when all the family got together, it was not uncommon to hear the N-word at the dinner table. As an adult, I got a job at a catering company, and I got all excited because we got new chef's jackets and you have those skull caps. Right? You know, the in the kitchen. And I was going to go out to see my grandpa, and I stopped at my aunt and uncle's house, and my uncle nodded at me, and I wear the hat. I was so proud of it. He said, "You wear a hat like that, you look like one of them damn," made a comment about a religious group. You're going to get yourself shot up here. That's where I come from. And it never really made sense to me. I didn't understand that because even in the 80s, I mean, we were taught that everyone was loved and accepted. Well, my dad took me to see Star Trek 6 in Discovery Country. I loved it. In the little movie theater on the square in Seagull, Missouri. And it opened my eyes. I said, this is the way it's supposed to be. And then I watched the original series, The Next Generation, and I watched all of them. And these people, like Mike said, we don't know them, but they helped teach me how to be a decent human being. So last summer, I can tell you 1,000 Star Trek stories that have changed my life. This one, really cool. Went to Little Rock to go and see Michelle Nichols. I was going to interview her for WordWinner.com. And I made jewelry, and I made her some bracelets. I mean, and her agent said she's given things thousands of times. And I'm like, I want her to have these. And she tells a story about how she was going to quit the original series in the first season because she got offered a role on Broadway. And she turned in her resignation. And that Friday night, she was at an NAACP fundraiser, and someone taps her on the shoulder and says, "Ms. Nichols, there's a fan that would like to meet you." And she thinks it's another fan, and she turns around, and standing right there is Martin Luther King Jr. And he asks her about the show, and she tells him about the show. He said, "Well, I hope it runs a long time." And she said, "Well, actually, I'm not leaving the show to go to Broadway." He said, "You absolutely are not. Do you understand what you do for our cause?" He said, "The Right Star. To see not just a woman, but a woman of color in a position of authority. She's 4th in command of the Starship Enterprise. First character ever in the history of our television." He said, "You cannot quit. Your show is the only one that Coretta and I let our little children watch. But she said, Dr. King, I want to be out east. I want to march with you in Washington. He said, no, my dear, your march is here. You're marching here. And I heard that story for decades. But I got to sit with her for 45 minutes on a Sunday morning, sipping coffee, talking about her career working with Rock, Marilyn Nimoy, and her telling me that story. I will never forget it. So I went home, and I started seeing her pop up all over the world. She was wearing the bracelets that I had made her. The first one I saw, she was on the red carpet earning her Lifetime Achievement Award at the Saturn Awards in Los Angeles. And then I saw her in Australia, in Ireland, in California, just all over the place. So I saw she was going to be at another convention in Arkansas Hot Springs a few months later, September. And I noticed she really favored the turquoise. So I made her 6 more turquoise bracelets with Indian teak wood. And I made her 4 pairs of turquoise earrings. And I stood in line, and she saw me. Now, this woman sees hundreds of thousands of fans every year. She saw me at the end of the line, and she pointed at me and raised her arm. She was wearing the bracelets I had given her. Damn it, I'm going to start crying. She remembered me, and I said, I've got more stuff for you. I gave her, and she made everything stop. She made everybody stop. As she took out and looked at each one of these, there's a video I posted on my Facebook that everything, and she made her agent take her earrings out, put them in, and she wore the bracelets. And she kissed me on the cheek 6 times. He hasn't watched it yet.
I don't know how. I'm a Mac guy. Still a Mac guy. I'm good. No excuse.
Is that out the mayor do your tax report?
You can't see it. You see it real good on my computer. She picked up these earrings and went, mwah, mwah, mwah. Because I thought we were just going, she waved me over and I thought we were just going to get our picture. And she came down and she kissed me. I will treasure this. Just the simple fact that when I went there and she had seen many, 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 many thousands of fans, she pointed at me and went like that. And I've got many, many other stories. Leonard Nimoy, the day he died, he taught me how to be less emotional. I was a very emotional child. The day he died, I was in my 30s, and I had to go hide in the bathroom while my bracelet worked because it affected me so much. That's my story.
It's really hard to talk about horror without talking about Stephen King, so I'll get right on the way up front. He wrote What Scares Us Defines Us, and humanities, as you watch it throughout our history, takes whatever we're afraid of, and we illustrate that. In sci-fi, you finally get a new setting. You're able to take someone, put them, break our social constructs, and have a way to explore what scares us in a parallel universe where it's not ours, so we can feel a little more comfortable confronting things. What changed my writing career when I was very young was I saw Alien, and the strong female character that no one questioned, she was able to take charge. The fact that in space no one can hear you scream, we were afraid of isolationism then. We still are. One of our biggest fears is putting our lives in the hands of people we don't know and don't trust. But it's a live or die situation. That is something that I think as a society we all feel uncomfortable when we're put in a situation surrounded by strangers. So that changed how I wrote. It made me look at what scares us and how to apply it to our real lives. And I've taken several science fiction stories and used them in my own work, even as a journalist. But also the other one that changed me, and it's kind of silly, is the Terminator. The idea that not just the time travel aspect, but the idea that a machine could pass as a human in such a way that we're cool. That scared a lot of people, and you still see people who are terrified of technology refer back to that movie. You know, they all make the Cyberdyne jokes, and this is the beginning of the net closing in on us, and people are terrified of Facebook because they think Terminator's watching us right now. He's gathering our facts. But
He needs to hurry up, though.
But it also touches on the classic love story and some of the other, plot devices that we've seen across all genres. But those are the two that change me, because what scares us really is what defines us, and being able to take your fear and put it out here, deal with it and break it down, and then process it and move on is the greatest
be Princess Leia. I'm a little older than you, but I wanted to be her. She was my ideal. Different environment, but like Tim, I grew up in a pretty rough neighborhood where violence and racism was everywhere. And I totally identify with that idea that Star Trek is simply a different way to live.
It's a message we need to be reminded of in our people.
Absolutely.
We are
Just
breaking
like,
or sliding that
you know,
down.
we're okay. We don't need to fear. Star Trek, people weren't afraid. They went out there too. They looked for difference. They didn't hide it. And that line about what we hear defines us, I'm gonna like embroider it somewhere or something. That was just a great line. And all of these things were about growing up and facing how as a young teen, how to grow up, how to face that world out there that we know is out there and we hope we don't have to face. And I came into, the Star Trek was every day after school, all the syndicated one, every day after school, come home, get a treat at my grandma's, smoke the grandparent TV. But I came to Dr. Who much later when I was a young adult, and one of my best friends was from England. And I had seen Dr. Who before, but he's the one that said, let's watch it. And what the Tom Baker said was my first doctor. And he is, you know, you have a doctor, right? You're Whovian playing a doctor. So that's my first doctor. But watching the reboots was, as an adult with children, an adult who had to not only think about but live through the tough stuff, what I appreciated so much about it was that it allowed me to be childish, to, you know, watch Matt Smith learn how to eat food and say bad beans and throw them out the door, and just the goofiness.
Fish fingers and custard.
Fish fingers
Which
and
actually
custard.
tastes good. It actually is good.
See, I have not gone there, Tim. Now I need to go there.
We did a screening of the Christmas special. We made fish sticks and we did. It's good. You should try it. Sorry.
Fish fingers, but yeah, fish sticks, excellent, and vanilla pudding. I don't know if I can go there today. Wow, I'm sorry, that hit a hit. Okay. But I will go there, someday I will. You'll sit me down and you'll dare me and I'll do it. But so what I liked about the reboot of Doctor Who, about a man who lives forever, who is the adult, who, as you find out, has done some really horrible things as well as faced really horrible things, is that ability to still touch the child. And you're a parent and you're working and you've got kids, and sometimes there's not a lot of child left for you. And like every other good piece of fiction, it is ideal. It's idealism, either directly or indirectly. Even dystopia points to the idea that we should have a utopia. You know? And so Doctor Who is fun and he's goofy and he changes, but he's about a world in which he doesn't use a gun to solve problems. He's got a sonic screwdriver to fix things, not a gun to blow things up. And when a good man goes to war, well, that thing's not. But so that was unlike the child connecting to science fiction. I was full-grown, middle-aged soccer mom, working kind of person, and Doctor Who just touched me so much.
Do you have a story about science fiction, classic sci-fi, anything that maybe affected you?
Oh, sure. And I think it was, I believe it was a Robert Heinlein book. I read it back when I was in the 8th grade or 9th grade, and it was called After Space Food Will Travel. And a kid wins a space suit by filling out a coupon in the back of a cereal box or something. I mean, it's some preposterous kind of thing, but all of a sudden he's got a spaceship and a chance to go into space. And, you know, that book, along with all the others that Robert Heinlein wrote, truly influenced me, and my whole career has been going into uncomfortable places where I've never been before. I guarantee you, I was not looking to be mayor of Springfield ever in my lifetime. But there are weird forces out there at work that got us there. But basically, starting with that book way back as a young person, and then and what I've been doing the last couple of years is going back and rereading some of those books, and I'm going, how did I miss that? Or how did I miss that philosophy? Or how did I miss that religious stuff? I was just reading it for the space opera, for the excitement of the script, and there's a whole lot more in science fiction. That's where the social commentary really comes in. 8th grade, you're too young to understand that. Now, approaching 500, I can
Ladies and gentlemen, we certainly can sit up here for the next 25 minutes and tell you more stories, but I'd kind of like to hear your stories. Does anybody have something? You, right there.
I knew you did.
Yeah. What you got?
A couple, but have spacesuit will travel. I thought I was the only kid that moved.
There were 2 of them.
It actually really formed me because it was in elementary school. I was given the opportunity to help out the library. Library was actually the
You
store.
too. Yeah.
And Mrs. Badger, the librarian, said, "You might like this book." Oh my God. That started me reading, period. But especially, it touched me in that same way. And in fact, that is the passcode on some of my, because it touched me. And I'll just share this real quick. My son is as deeply moved and formed by Star Wars as you are. Of course, I saw it a few years later. I saw it when it first came out, but nobody knew what it was. He memorized the whole canon by the time he was 12, I think. I bought him this book, the Encyclopedia of Star Wars.
Yeah.
And at dinner table, he was 12, 13 years old, he was going through it, and he said, "They made that up." It was some obscure reference to, I think, a docking station on a ship. They made that up. I looked at him and said, "Dan, they made it all up." And that just couldn't get right. It was really all made up. So I wanted to share.
Yeah, my wife laughs at me all the time because I can't remember things like dates of things that are important to her, like our anniversary. But I can remember, the name of the obscure character in the cantina scene in the corner, and so she's like, what goes on in there? I said, no one wants to know.
And speaking of science fiction that has moved you, my son and I went to see Rogue One a few weeks ago, and afterwards we sat and talked for 3 hours. And it was interesting in the theater. There were all kinds of father and son pairs, all the way from myself and my son, who was the oldest, down to young man, 4-month-old baby. All generations, fathers and sons. And it's allowed us to keep that connection, and comic books, keep that connection.
It's funny you say that. We, for Rogue One, my production company, Harvest Productions, we always go to the IMAX. And for any big movie, we set up my green screens, and we take pictures. And people don't trust you at first, because they're like, it's free. We're not paying for the print. All you got to do is go to the Facebook page and grab the picture, it's free. But they finally got used to it. When Rogue One came out, we set up the green screen, started snapping pictures, and it's hilarious. We've got so many families coming and standing, and we would digitally put them into Star Wars. But the wife is completely not. She's like, yay, look at me, I'm here.
And we're back again with Movietime, VisionCon Day 2, and we are here with Xavier Sade. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing?
Good. So tell us a little bit about what yourself, the art, what it's all about here.
So I'm one of the students at Studio Desaad. The 2 main artists are my father, Ned Desaad, and my stepmother, Sarah Wilkinson. And we like to do fine art pieces that talk about the ideas of love, for example, or where you are in life. Mm-hmm. And we also do some fan art as well to kind of get the geek going,
Yeah. And which is really cool because it's like it's a kind of, you can almost homage the two of them together into an art form and meld it into its own new art form. So it's like you were telling me a little bit about the story in regards to with Nigel and Sarah and how they met and a little bit about the history of that. So go ahead and tell the audience.
So my father, way long ago, ended up starting an art career because he at that point in his life and decided that he was going to try and do what he really wanted. And so he started off by doing this piece right over here. It's a ballerina. It's called Make Me Pretty. It's about and he made it for my sister when she was younger. She wanted to try getting into ballet. And he wanted to do that piece just in case she got rejected by the ballet community, she could still enjoy it. And it started to spark people's interest, and he wanted to make an entire series to talk about those things and the things we do. So.
And then Sarah also had the passion for it as well, so the two of them wound up combining their...
Yep. And Sarah started working like the comic book industry and working with LucasArts. And
Very
then
nice.
later, it was a little bit more recently, about 5 years ago, I believe. So.
Yep. So, and look at the wonderful work that has come up. So, how do we get both of all of you in social media?
Well, if you go ahead on our Facebook page, it's Nigel Sod and Sarah Wilkinson. Those are their Facebook pages. We also have another one for Studio Desad, and that's where we post all of our stuff.
Excellent. And we look forward to seeing much more of it. And can you talk about these two paintings for us that you have in front of us?
Yeah, of course. So these ones are part of the series about love that I was talking about. It's called The Modern Day Atrocities, and it's about the things we do for love that we kind of failed to do correctly. These ones in particular are kind of about how we love strangers. All right. This one is called Object, and it's about objectification and how we look at someone and we either sexually objectify them or just objectify them based on whether or not they have a prosthetic or something like that. And when we do that, they're no longer really a person to us. So the stool in the back, the stool that she's sitting on is the only thing casting a shadow because to you, she's not considered real at all. All right?
Very cool.
I know. The other one, however, is called No Outlet, and it's kind of like the other side of that coin. While Object is about how we objectify people, No Outlet is about people who want to be objectified because they think that that's what love is. You know, they look for that attention because that's all they've really known in their life.
All about being popular.
Exactly. And so she has all of these tendrils to show all of the potential that she has that she's not letting grasp hold of, and she's standing on a plot of land that's slowly crumbling away to show that as she ages, she starts to lose that land that she's standing on. She doesn't have any ground to stand on at that point.
Very cool. And I look forward to seeing much more of the work and on the website as well.
Indeed. And this series is about ready to have another piece coming out.
Yes.
I have one of the sketches up there.
Wow.
And that one's going to be about emotional abuse.
Wow. The 3 faces of abuse.
Yep.
Yeah.
And kind of turning into a snake to show that deception and whatnot.
Wow. That is going to be one amazing piece.
Indeed.
And we look forward to seeing that. And is there anything coming out of you guys in the future?
Not that I know of right off the top of my head. So I know that I plan on doing a couple pieces here soon, but it's going to start. What's it called? I don't have anything done quite yet. So
excellent, and it's great to meet you, and we look forward to everything that you got.
Fantastic! I'm glad.
Again with Movietime, and it's the final day here, and we are talking to the creator of a wonderful animated series, cartoon series called The Devil's Pool. And it's Brian O'Neill. How are you doing, Brian?
I'm doing great. Thank you for coming.
Good. It's like, so tell us a little bit more about the Devil's Pool series.
Well, Jeremy Worley and I are partners on this, and he had this idea to do this really great series, and we decided to do a comic book series to get it started. The Devil's Pool is a real place here in the Ozarks. It's got a real creepy history, so we wrote a supernatural epic around that.
Nice.
Yeah, but we used all live actors and actresses. So we have a 40-member cast. We set up and do all the scenes and shoot principal photography, and then the art is hand-drawn based off of that.
Wow.
Yeah, so
So what inspired this actual series to come to be?
Pretty much, Jeremy had this really great idea to do a end of the world type story, lots of angels and demons and that kind of stuff, and we wanted to center it around a small town, Midwestern kind of town, and it's really about pushing back against corruption and against the man and the people that kind of keep us down. So it's kind of a great story for our hero, Ben Carver, is kind of an everyday average Joe that ends up with the power of an angel to combat evil. So
very cool. And it's like, so basically it's like it's dealing on also a post-apocalyptic world, or is it more into a horror genre?
Pre-apocalyptic, actually.
Pre-apocalyptic
It's the four horsemen of the apocalypse type stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So also, it's like you were saying that it's right now a 5-episode.
We have 5 issues right now. 3 of them are printed. The 4th one is actually on Kickstarter. So if you go to Kickstarter and look up The Devil's Pool, we have a Kickstarter going on right now, and you can get all the previous printed issues. You can get some digital copies. There's a lot of cool, fun stuff that we're doing. We got T-shirts and stuff that we're doing on that Kickstarter. So
very cool. And it's like, also, how do people get you in social media?
Well, we actually have Arc Vindicta is our club and our publishing company, so you can go look at us up on Facebook at Arc Vindicta. You can go to our website at arcvin.com, arkvin.com, and you can get a hold of us through there, or you can check us out at any of the Comic-Cons in the Midwest. We're at just about all of them. So
very cool. I'm looking forward actually to, and I seriously am looking forward to reading all of these and seeing like where it's going from there.
All right. Well, I really appreciate it. We've had a lot of great response, and people come up and they're waiting for the next issues. Unfortunately, because of our process, it takes a long time to produce a book. Again, we have actors and we have photo shoots, and we set up scenes and scenery and all that kind of stuff. So these aren't traditional comics. They take a long time to produce each one of them. But we are planning on finishing the series and have our trade ready by 2018. So we have a complete 144 trade to be out there, so we're excited about that.
Nice. And where would you love to see it once it comes from the comic book form? Where is the next iteration for you?
We're actually already dealing with a couple of production companies that are looking at pitching it to Netflix and a couple other AMC. So we're really actually, the end goal is to have a series that's actually going to a television series.
Very cool. And definitely something that would be like awesome to have happen.
Oh yeah. Very much like if you like Walking Dead, Sons of Anarchy, Supernatural, that's kind of the line that we kind of follow with this. Very gritty storytelling, but we think it's going to be very popular, and we're excited to get it out there.
And it's like, for all of us who it's like do love that sort of thing, it's like how much more based, does it feel like more reality based, or does it feel more more out there based?
Very much reality based. We really want to take the whole supernatural aspect and make it something that you can actually see happening in the real world, so that we can kind of expand on the idea of like, these are concepts that a lot of people believe in, as far as whether it's Christianity or whatnot, and whenever you actually see them in fruition in the real world, how the juxtaposition of that is kind of throws you off, So when you actually see the end apocalypse, or the 4 horsemen, or death, or pestilence, and all of those things happening, we can actually recognize it, as something that's possible, because a lot of us that are faith-based believe that, but this is definitely a series that's for everyone.
Yes.
It has some very real adult themes to it, so we don't want children, necessarily, but it is something that I think everybody could get into. Like I said, if you like Walking Dead, Sons of Anarchy, those kind of storytelling, that's the kind of gritty stuff that we're doing. So.
And I look forward, like I said, to reading them, because it's like, yes, I do enjoy those very much.
And you can go on to arcvin.com, and we actually have a digital version of Zero issue, which is a pre-issue.
Okay.
You can download that for free, absolutely free. Whenever we first started this process, we decided that we would never sell the Zero issue. So we produced it for the Kickstarter, and then we proceeded to give away over 1,000 copies of the Zero issue, and now we have none left except for this one that you see in this glass case. So you can get it for free if you download it at arcvin.com, arkvin.com.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Checking my mics, make sure everything was okay. But again, check out the social media. If you guys have taken photos of individuals, make sure to share that with the Facebook page as well. Share it with the VisionCon staff so other people can see it. If you have any photos you want to tag the DJ, we want you to tag D&E Music. I would greatly appreciate that as well. Shameless plug, I'm going to post them on my page and repost them and do all that. So if you have any photos you want to post, make sure to post D&E Music. Thank you guys. We're going to get started in just a little bit.
2017, the opening event on the main stage. On the last day, we made it. We made it. It's the last day. Who's feeling it? Yes. This guy's feeling. Hey, this guy, I want to point out, has been keeping the crowd amped and the sound sounded awesome all weekend. I don't know your name. Scott. Let's give it up for Scott. He's got a thing there that he wants us to look at. So, just saying, Sir Scott. Gentleman in the front row says you've been.
Sorry, you're correct. I'm not used to saying that. It is Sir Scott.
He's been VisionCon knighted.
I got knighted yesterday, and it's so hard saying that. It is now officially Sir Scott. Officially.
Well, all right. Who has a favorite cosplay they've seen? Just shout it out. Nobody?
Thor!
What?
Thor!
Corn? Like
Thor!
Thor!
Yeah.
Voltron!
Cosplay. No, Thor. I saw that Thor. Did you see that guy was Odin?
Voltron!
Did you guys see that guy that was Porco Rosso yesterday? That was you! Super, it was me. All right. What we're going to do here is we're going to play a loose interpretation of a game of Dungeons and Dragons, or better described, a tabletop role-playing game. So it's not going to be a strict adherence to D&D rules. I don't want any fanboy rage after the show, but we're going to have some fun, and we're going to do things.
No raging.
We're going to get up from the tabletop section and break and do scenes that are based on and inspired by the things we discover in the game part, and that will be hilarious, hopefully, and we'll see what happens. We're all performers from Springfield Improv. We'd love to see you there at a show sometime. Like us on Facebook, and with that, we're going to get started. Let's see, right here on the front row. No, I'm not going to bring you up here. You don't have to look at the ground and hope that I don't ask you to close us in prayer or something like that. It's not youth group con.
That's next week.
That's Young Christians Weekend in Branson, right? That's a terrible weekend to be here. What's your favorite place, or a place that you enjoy playing games with your friends? Okay, I was asking him, but we'll go with this guy's house. Tell us why. What makes his house great? They can be as loud as they want at the over 9,000 guy's house. All right, now, one more thing I should point out. What we will do, like when we are acting out the scenes inspired by the tabletop section, this is our good friend Zach. Everybody say, what up, Zach? What up? Zach is our dungeon master, and at certain points he will freeze the action and call for a dice roll. I will be the dice roller for this game. I will roll against him, and whatever he decides based on the outcome of the dice roll will affect the action in the scene. And our professional, wonderful, fantastic performers will have to justify in the moment their next course of action, dialogue, whatever. It's going to be choose your own adventure, basically. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's get to it.
You
What? How? I don't understand how we even took this quest on. Do we have any common sense left? Freeze. No, you don't.
Man, I haven't had common sense since that last village we hit, so...
Yeah, it's just, after we hit that village, I couldn't figure out how to pull up my pants or tie my shoes anymore.
Okay, see, I feel like maybe if we go to the next village, we talk to the innkeeper, you know, we talk him up, you know, we don't need common sense to talk to someone, we get some directions and head back.
Okay, all right. Maybe then we can get the amulet of sense.
You're putting a lot of emphasis on that word, man.
I'm just trying to grab onto something because I feel like I'm slowly losing my mind.
It's okay, man. We're in the land of terror. It's kind of a common thing here.
Yeah, I can't tell if I'm supposed to be terrified or, you know, kind of have a sense of adventure. Let's go to the innkeeper.
Okay. If you want to talk to me, you gotta ring the bell. Ring the bell.
The bell?
Yes, ring the bell. It's common sense. Ring the bell. I think he wants you to ring it.
Like by throwing it?
Go get that. What'd you do that for?
I don't know. How am I supposed to go get it without a card?
Or common sense, apparently. Do you want to stay the night or you just want to wreck all my stuff? Hey, okay. So we're just a little lost. You know, we're not used to the land of terror. So we were hoping you could give us a little bit of direction, maybe help us out. Since we're not natives, do you think you'd be generous enough? Maybe help us out?
Freeze. Yeah, she could do that.
I suppose I can. But it'll take some money. I'm very intimidated by the way you enunciated that word and got closer. Yes, money makes the land of terror go round, you see. So what I require is 30,000 schmeckles. We don't have 30,000 shekels, man.
What if we just took out a loan and didn't pay it back?
We took out a loan to get this amulet of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could try and win 30,000 schmeckles for the game of cards. Cardman Johannesson, how did you get here?
Oh, I've always been in this tavern. I live here now.
Fair enough. That doesn't make much sense, but neither do I.
Well, sense is gone in this land of terror.
That makes sense.
I wouldn't recommend trying to get money from Johansson there. See, he hasn't been paying his rent either. He owes me 90,000 schmeckles. Okay, so we're 30,000 shekels deep into needing some help, all right?
Okay.
There's this weirdo over here. Do we want to chance it, or do we want to just... You look weird.
Sorry.
I think we should chance it. Because I've got this itch and I don't know where it's at, but I want to scratch it. Let's do it. Hey, how does it work?
Well, it's just a simple game. It's just 5 card draw.
Okay, 5 card draw. So I draw 5 cards.
Yes. Go ahead. Just take the whole deck.
Yeah, I want to choose the best 5 cards.
No, that's, well, that's really counterintuitive, but...
Okay, you take the rest of the deck, and if I didn't pick the right 5 cards, then we'll just choose out of that. Here you go. That's all the aces. You lose. I guess I thought all the aces would win, but I guess that would make too much sense.
You know what? Boris! Out here! Tavern bouncer!
Yeah.
Get these heathens out of here. They can't pay nothing.
Get out of here, Joyce. I'm sick of you. What are you doing here? I'm just trying to get the amulet of sense. The amulet of sense? Yeah.
My father lost that 5 years ago, going up to the top of the mountain.
Here we go again.
Wait,
Sad story
your
time.
father was Emperor Kaneshnesh? Yes. I've fallen so far from royalty, but yes. My father, the emperor, took it up atop the mountain and never came back.
Then we must go back up the mountain and find it. Surely, son Kaneshnesh, you have a map to the mountain.
Praise.
Yes, he does.
I know it well. It's memorized.
That makes sense.
So, I must bid you farewell and keep. I love being in your service, but we are off to the top of the mountain to reclaim my family's amulet.
My voice hurts from yelling so much.
You guys, we don't have to yell. We just have that option if we want it.
But it seems like there's no other place that we can do this, so we have to exercise it.
I have to get it out here because I'm normally a really shy person. This helps me work on my people skills.
My mom's kind of rude, and she says I can only ever use my inside voice always. This is me testing the bounds, man.
This is what coming here is about, is pushing boundaries. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming.
Your house is awesome, man. I mean, Scott's house sucks, but now that he lives here with you,
My house is awesome, too, right?
Our house
is awesome, guys.
Toaster strudels are done.
woo! Woo! Woo!
I didn't grab mittens, so it's hot. Grab it quick.
Are there bugs in these?
I don't know, but my hands are fused to
This
it now.
isn't Scott's whole house.
Okay. Did you not know that I like the bugs? Did I not make that obvious?
I thought you were just loudly complaining about things.
No.
Wait, now that Scott's moved out of his house, you can move in if you like the bugs.
Holy crap!
My old room's up, perhaps.
All right, it's settled.
Deals being made, D&D, some deals, and a silent dungeon master silently judging us. It's awesome, man. This is why I like your guys' house.
That's my job. You're cheating, you have a microphone. That's not yelling.
Hey!
That just means I can get louder than you. Yeah, you want to have a yell off? Are you more going to yell it? Yell off! Yell off! Yell off! Yell off! Yell off! Yell off! How about no, and we get back to playing the game at the top of the mountain, remember? Let's go back there.
Well, we're here.
I'm glad you have a good sense of direction.
We just gotta find my father's remains. I guess he still could be alive. I assumed that he was dead.
Freeze! The father yet lives.
But I feel deep down in my heart he's alive.
I feel like this angry cursed volcano, it's gone. The volcano's gone. Once you start thinking about your dad.
Volcanoes don't just disappear. That doesn't make sense.
Maybe it leads. Maybe we should follow and see if an opening has appeared.
Fair enough. I'm gonna grab my pickaxe and pick at the wall and see if it starts spewing lava.
That's not very smart. Don't do that.
Freeze! No lava.
Oh, we really lucked out. Look who's smart now. Son of a Nesh.
Freeze! Still no lava.
All right, let's not try our luck here. Father! Father, are you here, Father? Father!
Emperor Kaneshnesh, your holy Kaneshi!
I just want to go home.
Father!
We just need the ambulance!
Father! That's you, Dad, Papa. Is that Kanesh? Yes, it is. It is your son.
I thought I exiled you from my heirs!
Shh, I never told you that. Just keep that down, Dad. Thanks.
Why should I keep it down? I'm
I couldn't live up to your high mightiness, so you exiled me from the family heirs. He doesn't love me.
You told me your loincloth was red. It is blue. How can I forgive such a blunder?
Okay, hey man, we gotta come over here. These guys are getting kind of. I don't feel like we should be here. Maybe we just take the amulet.
We're here for the amulet.
Try to go back as fast as we can, and we just leave. Cause this is kind of awkward.
I'm gonna try breaking through the wall again. Grace!
This time there's lava. Lots of it.
We gotta get away from it!
I don't know. It worked 2 out of 3 times. Seemed to be.
Where do you keep getting these?
I don't know! Father, I'm here for the amulet of sense! This man has 0 of it!
I suppose.
Grace!
He supposes you can have it.
I suppose you can have it.
Cast it down from wherever you are!
Float down the lava on a rock made of volcanic rock.
Yeah, we don't have much time. We gotta get out of here.
We gotta find a rock made of volcanic rock!
Who has awoken the volcano god?
What you did now?
It was us.
The amulet is not yours to give.
Hey man, how about this? I got a whole bag of bread that I stole from a tavern.
What does a god require from bread?
Asiago bagels.
Oh, that does sound delightful.
Deal.
Are they from Panera? Then you've got a deal.
Yeah, man. They're from Panera.
All right.
Grace!
The bluff does not succeed.
These are from Einstein Brothers.
I'm just gonna grab the volcanic rock and throw it at him. That doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's our only hope. Fused to my hands now. Throw yourself at him! Ah! Grace!
The rock thrower is very stupid.
It does not work.
What good does a rock that I brought into the world do against me as a weapon, you foolish mortal?
Father, help us! You're our only help!
You must learn to work together as father and son.
Volcano God, I don't want to do that.
We're doomed! We've never...
Tough titty.
Dang it, Volcano God. Please, I promise I'll pay rent. Don't make me be with Kadesh.
He is your son, your progeny, and your only heir.
All right, fine, I'm coming down.
Man, your dad looks like that ugly lady who owned the tavern.
We've only got a certain number of people in the cast. Go with it.
Yeah, that's really rude.
Dad!
Yes, it is I, Kanesh.
No, I will settle for a handshake. Okay.
That was very athletic.
Okay, that's enough of that. Their love has touched the volcano god.
Your love has touched me, the volcano god. But in a place deep inside my heart, I will open my doors to let you proceed out into the world to live and fight another day with the amulet of sense provided.
Do we have our friend back?
Provided you leave your friend here for me to torture for all eternity.
Okay, man, how about the whole bag of Asiago Einstein Brothers bagels?
They're from the Einstein Brothers. We've already established this.
And my bag of holding.
That's a pretty good deal,
That is a
volcano
pretty
god.
good deal.
It is very nice. I saw a similar one on Etsy though.
I think you should do it.
How about it, volcano god?
Grace!
Deal.
I'm not sure why I'm agreeing to this, but okay.
Yeah, toss it on him.
This guy is really upset.
No, I'm sorry, I'm upset.
Is it because you miss your mom?
I didn't think I would, but I kind of miss the bugs too. Yeah, I guess that big bed doesn't have bed bugs like your old house. No, it's just not it. I'm kind of over the bottom walls now, so you want to trade back? That's something we could. Guys, the spot just opened up in our big bed if anybody's interested.
I think the microphone is. You know, I'm really glad that your mom's cool with us just practicing band, playing D&D, and just generally being loud, obnoxious teenagers. You know, you say your mom is deaf, but I've actually never really even seen her. Are you sure she's also not alive?
She stays in that bed a lot. I have not seen her move.
Yeah, it could be like that movie 7, like when he was chained to the bed for a year. Is it like that?
Maybe.
Hey Scott, is it like that one movie where the lady was dead in the bed the whole time and that she wasn't actually alive and she projected herself? That movie?
Yeah, Psycho. Guys, I'm living a lie. She's actually just a store mannequin. I put her in the bed so social services didn't come and take me away.
Scott, this is like that movie Mannequin?
This is exactly like Mannequin.
Wow!
So is she alive? No, she never was alive. It's not a thing.
She makes really good Hot Pockets, though.
That's been me the whole time.
What?
I've been living a lie.
Yeah, you said that already. You're really good at making Hot Pockets and Tostitos and Pop-Tarts. Man, you should think about cooking professionally.
I will. I'll give it a shot. I'm just glad you guys are coming. You could open a pastry shop.
It's okay, Scott, this is your house. You can cry because your mom's dead.
No, she was never alive. I was abandoned as a child, and I found her.
Oh, your Einstein imitation bagels are done.
Woo! Woo!
I'm not eating that.
I'll take one. You know what? And for old time's sake, why don't we each put a bucket on it?
Sounds like a great idea. I miss them so. Bug jars? No, I'll pass. We talked about there being no bugs, but there's, oh, okay, a jar, great.
Yeah, mine off the floor. Hey, DM, take the bugs.
Nope. But you know what I will take? You guys coming down the mountain? Let's do it.
Well, I definitely killed 2 people with those pickaxes I threw down.
No, it's a long ways down.
Kanesh, what kind of people do you bring with you?
Hey, to be fair, we picked up Kanish. He helped us.
That's true.
We kind of helped some of them.
I suppose his chivalry, if that's what it can be called.
We're dragging him down.
We are.
No, we're dragging him down the mountain as we go.
Are you gonna use the amulet of sense? Maybe if you put it, maybe if you use it on him. Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Freeze!
He has his common sense back.
Wow, I just realized that, like, I can help you help me up. Yeah, all you do is not fight someone. Yeah. We're trying to help you up, and you stand right up. Yeah.
Everything's fine. Yeah. We're good. We can get out of this hellhole. This place is awful. You guys live in a terrible place.
Freeze!
The Emperor is gravely insulted. What? Terrible place? I'll have you know, DirecTV comes here, and I get to watch 2.5 Men all day.
Let me handle this. So, in our culture, terrible means good. It's like, you ever heard the saying, like, that's one bad monster truck? Well, this is one terrible cavern of terror.
I've never heard that, no.
Well, now you have.
I
Isn't
suppose...
it great sharing culture?
Not really. I've been in here for
for 400 years with just the volcano god and me, just chilling, watching 2.5 Men eating toaster strudels. And then you come barging in, wanting some amulet from my lion kid, and then you say it's a terrible place. You know, screw you, man.
Well, I guess common sense never won any wars. You guys got anything?
You know what? I get why you two don't talk anymore. You're kind of rude.
Don't say that about my dad!
You're a cool guy, man. You helped us get the amulet. You helped my friend. You helped him up. You even pulled his pants up at one point.
Also, in our culture, rude means polite.
Why don't you just be nice to your son? The volcano god is trying to help you.
I don't know. Emperor Knesh has claimed many a country by not being nice. I don't know how I can start now. Unless there's some amulet of niceness.
I have...
They happen to have the amulet on them right now.
In this Einstein Brothers bagel.
Oh boy.
This is a symbol of love and culture from my people up south.
In our culture, bagels mean acceptance and giving.
Oh,
Eat it, Dad.
I kept 2 bagels.
It's an amulet you consume. Okay, I'll take a bite. Don't force it.
Gotta wait for it to digest in the colon. Phrase.
The Emperor has a deadly wheat allergy.
How does it taste?
Is this sweet? My tongue's swelling in my mouth, you idiot!
I'm pretty sure that gluten is not something you can be allergic to.
Oh, it tastes like Asiago too. Disgusting.
You look like you're dying, man.
Oh,
You okay?
I said no.
No, Dad.
I'm not okay.
No, Dad.
Emperor Knesh is not okay.
Well, your last action be to reinstore me as your heir so I can be the Emperor. Come on, say it, Emperor. Phrase.
He dies before uttering the words.
Hey, man. So as far as I heard that he bestowed it on you. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying. There's not many witnesses here. Your Holiness. That's what I like to hear. You were just gonna kill us? I was going to convince you, but you came around on your own. I think you need that is some amulet of niceness in your colon.
Why don't we unite our kingdoms, this terrible land of terror, and our south side? We'll bring it together.
Our south side is our land of terror in our culture. I could eat to that. I gave mine away, but...
And they all lived happily ever after. Woo! Except for the emperor who died, you know, whatever. That's cool. It's possible. I was going to make it a curse of the volcano, but didn't come back around to it. Okay, in typical comic book convention fashion, I'm going to, well, first I'm going to hope that walking in front of this doesn't cause lots of feedback. We're going to have a panel, Q&A, with our cast of our show, with the adventures with our intrepid heroes, or blundering doofuses. Our actors will answer in character. Any questions you have about what you just saw, they will answer as the characters that they portray in the show. So who's got a question for, right here?
Let's start. So were any of you a paladin?
Are any of you paladins?
My father was a paladin, but I decided to be a cleric to be more helpful.
You can't live your father's dreams. Who else got a question? Somebody. Yes.
What has she been eating the whole time?
What have you been eating the whole time, Lady Katrina?
Einstein Brothers bagels.
Heresy!
Asiago.
Here's the worst thing about Einstein Brothers. You can't just order cream cheese, you have to say the word schmear, which sounds dirty and weirdly sexual and disgusting.
Please leave my Southside heritage alone, sir.
Hey, You're a... All right.
Very nice cleric, thank you.
Right? Anybody else? Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Jeff.
Could one of them possibly play a thief?
Could one of you possibly play a thief?
Oh, I am definitely a devilish rogue.
I would like to hear a 60-second monologue about how devilish of a rogue you are. Go.
Well, shortly after I was kicked out of the tavern, I spent some time wandering around. You know, the occasional merchant passing by, I would trick out some of his wares. And occasionally I would do some gentleman banditry. You know, fun all around. You know, I recently bought a rapier. It is my favorite weapon of choice because it has finesse, and it's a very high-class weapon.
All right.
Is that 60 seconds?
We have different interpretations of the length of 60 seconds, but that'll do. Let's do 2 more questions. Anybody got any more questions for our adventurers? Oh, okay. Anyone closer to the front have any questions? Tell me about your cosplay first before you get your question. Are you Seymour from Little Shop of Horrors? That's great. No, it wasn't, but good ear. You are just as cute as they come.
As the middle guy, I'm sorry I don't know your name, but where you sound like Justin Roiland.
Seymour thinks that you sound like someone whom I am unaware of who they are, named Justin Roiland.
Thank you. In our culture, Justin Roiler means you are a wonderful, wonderful person, and I will give you all of my money. Thank you.
Who's Justin Roiland? Oh, okay. I didn't know that. So he's the guy who does all the voices for Rick and Morty. He does all the voices for Rick and Morty.
Imposter Rick.
Let's get one more. Somebody who's got a really good question. Okay, look, over 9,000. This question better be 9,001. Yes. Oh, what's going on here? You have a Doctor Who mashup. Was it Invader Zim? I like Doctor Who mashups. I frequent all the daily t-shirt sites and look for those. T-Fury Shirt Punch. You know, pro tip, dayoftheshirt.com puts all of those sites in one place for streamlined. You could be a better capitalist. Okay.
Is there a wizard in the party? And if so, how long is your beard?
All right, go ahead.
Before I was dead, I was a wizard that conquered many a country. My beard was at one point 4.7 inches long. It touched my kneecaps because I'm kind of a short man. And it had 3 braids, and it was very nice. But now I'm deceased, so it means nothing.
I was also a wizard, but I didn't have enough common sense to realize it at the time.
It's not about the length of your beard, it's about the motion of your follicles, if you understand my meaning here.
No.
Yeah, it's not the beard on the outside, it's the beard on the inside. I don't even know what that means, but this guy
But a
was
beard on the outside helps too.
This guy was our dice holder last year at our Friday night show, and he's back 2 years in a row. So. All right, so that's going to about do it for us. We are all performers, like I said at the beginning, Springfield Improv in Springfield, Missouri. Our theater is located downtown on South Avenue between Nona's and Scotch and Soda. We do shows every weekend. Most of us up here do a show called the Meta Hour that's inspired by internet culture, web phenomenon, viral trends, things like that. It's on 5th Saturdays, which is a bit of a scheduling anomaly, but we're all in different shows. They're all great, and they're all just, it's something that Springfield and the Ozarks can be proud of, and we'd love to see you there. Thank you so much for being here early on a Sunday morning and being awesome people all weekend at VisionCon. For an improvised D&D comedy fantasy, my name's Jake, that's Zach, Taylor, Andy, Katie, Derek, and Connor. We'll see you next year.
Hi, my name's Katie Meeks. I'm at VisionCon in Branson, Missouri. You can find me and the D&D Fantasy Show at Springfield Improv at 308 South Avenue between Nona's and Scotch and Soda. Hope to see you there.